Ever get that feeling like you missed some memo about how life's supposed to work?
Oh, yeah. Like everyone else is ticking boxes off some invisible timeline, and you're just drifting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lagging behind somehow.
Yeah.
It's super common, apparently. And that's what we're really going to unpack today.
Hmm.
Our goal, our mission is to look hard at this whole off-track feeling, use some research, get some expert insights,
Right.
so maybe you can feel, a bit better about where you actually are
Hmm.
right now.
Yeah, and it's interesting, this feeling, it isn't just some personal weirdness. There's actually a term for it, the social clock.
Social clock. Okay.
Yeah, sociologists have looked at this for ages. It's basically our inner sense of when big life stuff should happen.
Like an invisible checklist from society. Are you on time? Are you late?
Precisely. That's the core of it.
Hmm.
It dictates how we see ourselves fitting in, timeline-wise.
Okay, let's really get into that. These unwritten rules, right?
Uh,
Graduate college, like early 20s,
Get the career going.
married by 30 maybe,
Yeah.
kids mid 30s. And the big one, retire at 65.
Right, that classic roadmap.
But what gets me is how much of that timeline, that whole structure, it comes from way back, like 50, even 100 years ago.
Exactly. Life was completely different then.
Totally different.
Take that retirement at 65 thing. It feels so normal, right? Like a natural endpoint.
Yeah, just what you do.
But it really got locked in with the U.S. Social Security Act back in 1935.
Wow, okay.
It was a policy choice,
Yeah.
based on the economy and how many people were around back then, not some universal truth about when everyone should stop working. Yeah.
Yeah, that really puts it in perspective. We're measuring ourselves against a ruler made for a totally different world.
Pretty much.
And it's not just those big society rules, is it? This pressure, where else does it sneak in from?
Well, it's everywhere. Dr. Robert Waldinger, he runs that huge Harvard study of adult development.
Yeah, I know the one decades long.
Right. He talks a lot about how much this social clock messes with our happiness. He
Mhm.
says it's not just society, capital S, it's family, parents.
Your friends, what you see in the news, definitely social media.
Oh, big time.
And just, the cultural values you soak up without even realizing it.
So it's this constant drip, drip, drip of messages from all sides, making you feel like you're maybe not cutting it.
Yeah.
But here's what I really want to get at. Is the stress coming from actually being off schedule? Or is it just thinking we're off schedule? The perception of it.
That's the crucial distinction, isn't it? It's almost always the perception, the feeling that you're not hitting those outside benchmarks.
Society's benchmarks, your parents, your friends.
Exactly. The anxiety bubbles up because you feel like you're failing in their eyes.
Got it.
So the real question we need to ask in this deep dive is falling behind, according to who? And based on what rule book are we playing anyway?
Yes. Okay. Let's do it. Let's break it down, maybe decade by decade.
Wow.
Starting with the one that's supposed to be all potential, the 20s.
Right, the 20s. There's this narrative that you're supposed to have everything mapped out, right? Career path set, relationships locked down. Yeah, the grand plan.
But actual developmental psychology, it shows the 20s are really about exploring, finding your identity, trying things out, not sticking rigidly to some script.
That is so vital to hang on to. We actually got a message from Mimi. She's 25.
Okay.
Feels totally lost, jobless right now, kind of regretting her degree. And she's asking, is it too late? Like too late for med school or law school?
Oh, Mimi, no, absolutely not.
Right, tell her. That too late idea is such a trap.
It completely ignores how people actually develop. Med school, no age limit. Seriously, lots of doctors started out doing something completely different. They do these post-bac programs.
Yeah, like pre-med after you already have a degree.
Exactly. And law schools. You see people starting in their 40s, 50s, even 60s. And they thrive. It's not some weird exception. It's a real path.
It is. And just being in your 20s today, it's so different, even from 5 years ago.
Oh.
The jobs, the cost of living, how we work.
Oh, massively different. Look at the data. The average 20-something is facing some serious headwinds now. Well, you've got unstable hybrid work setups. Experts are saying something like 85% of the jobs that'll exist in 10 years haven't even been invented yet.
Wow, 85%.
Buying a house feels like a pipe dream for so many. There's this huge generational wealth gap. Millions struggling with student loans. The whole world feels kind of chaotic.
Yeah, it's a lot compared to maybe what our parents experienced.
Yeah.
More stable economies back then?
Often, yeah. More predictable paths, generally speaking.
So Mimi and really anyone in their 20s feeling lost,
Yeah.
that feeling is like a totally normal response to right now, to this moment in history.
Absolutely.
And I think I had something like 11 jobs in my 20s.
Yeah.
Seriously. You're just trying stuff out.
And what's crucial now, the big advantage this generation has is being digital natives.
Right. Grew up with it.
So leaning into that, getting skilled in AI, tech,
Yeah.
that's not just a bonus anymore. It's becoming kind of fundamental for the future.
We also heard from Sawyer. She's 26.
Yeah.
Had this whole cybersecurity career planned out. Got the job,
Uh-huh.
but it was fully remote. She felt super isolated, quit, went backpacking solo, which sounds amazing, by the way.
Yeah, good for her.
But then she comes back, feels lost, broke,
Yeah.
and she's worried. Worried what future employers will think about that gap, that choice.
See? That worry, that's the social clock talking right there,
Totally.
judging her choices. But her experience, that's exactly the kind of thing the 20s are for. You usually have fewer massive obligations. It's the time to explore, to figure stuff out, even if it looks messy on paper.
And the lessons from that kind of trip,
Yeah,
probably invaluable.
absolutely. Far more valuable long term than just sticking to a path that was making her miserable.
And just to feel it, we actually
Yeah.
have a little audio clip from Sawyer. Let's just listen for a sec. Audio clip description. A young woman's voice, maybe a bit shaky, on what sounds like a phone recording. Talking about feeling confused after coming back from a trip, not knowing the right next step, feeling overwhelmed by options, maybe a bit tearful, but trying to stay composed. You
Yeah.
could just hear it, right? That lost, overwhelmed feeling. It's real, and it's okay to feel it in your 20s.
It really is okay. The main thing, the takeaway for the 20s, forget the checklist.
Throw it out.
Yeah, it's about exploring, learning what you like, who you are, not about hitting marks on some dusty old timeline.
Okay, so myth busted for the 20s. Let's move on. The 30s.
Yeah?
This is the decade you're supposed to settle down, right?
Yes, the big settle down, find the one, have the kids, buy the house, the suburban dream package.
Right. But again, that checklist,
Mm-hmm.
it comes from a time when people didn't live nearly as long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Life expectancy was maybe 50 or 60 when those norms really took hold. Applying that same timeline now doesn't really track.
Doesn't make sense. And the pressure around relationships, having kids,
Yeah.
it feels really intense in your 30s.
Yeah.
Let's talk kids first. There are biological factors, for women especially.
Yes, and it's important we acknowledge that. The social pressure is one thing, but female fertility is a biological reality we should be informed about.
Right.
Generally, yeah, fertility starts to decline gradually around 30, then a more noticeable drop around 35.
Okay.
And this is a big but, just because you're not pregnant or a mom by X age doesn't mean it's over or that you've failed somehow. That's the social clock garbage talking.
So it's really about knowing yourself,
Yeah.
being honest. Do I want kids? And if you're a woman, maybe around 35, and you do want biological kids, exploring options.
Right. Things like egg freezing, it can be an empowering choice, giving you more time, more options. It's about being proactive based on your desires, not societal pressure.
What about relationships? If you're with someone and you don't agree on the kid thing.
Oh, that's huge in your 30s. You really need that honest conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Staying in a relationship hoping the other person will change their mind about something fundamental like kids, that can lead to so much wasted time and real heartache later.
Yeah, tough conversations, but necessary. Okay, now, the one. The pressure to find your soulmate in your 30s feels immense sometimes, like it's your last chance saloon or something.
Right. It's this frantic energy. But there's some great thinking around this, like in the let them theory. It pushes back on that idea.
The let them theory. Tell me more.
The idea is that dating isn't just about finding that one perfect person. It's maybe even more about learning about yourself.
Okay.
What do you need? What are your values? What kind of relationship actually makes you feel good? Instead of just ticking boxes for the one.
Let them show you who they are.
Exactly. You observe. How do they act? How do you feel when you're with them? What kind of person do you become? If you're just obsessed with the social clock saying, find them now,
Yeah.
you miss all that crucial self-discovery.
That's a great reframe. It takes the pressure off finding them and puts it on understanding you.
Precisely. And this idea that you were put on Earth just to be someone's spouse,
Yeah.
challenge that. You're here to build your own amazing life, pursue your own dreams. A partner should be someone who shares that life, enhances it, not someone who completes some societal requirement.
Build your life first. Find someone to share it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. What about when the pressure makes people get super picky? Like, he's not 6'2", net XT.
Yeah, it's funny how that happens. The pressure makes you feel like you can't afford a single mistake, so you narrow your criteria ridiculously.
Right.
The advice is often the opposite.
Oh.
Be more flexible, more open, different heights, backgrounds, body types, jobs. Meet more people.
Yeah.
Widen the net, don't shrink it. You're more likely to find a real connection that way.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Let's shift gears again. The house. The 30s, Pressure to buy a house. That symbol of having arrived, of settling down. But
Yeah.
the market now. Whew.
Yeah. It's a whole different world, and understanding why it's different is key to letting go of that pressure.
Lay it on us. Give us the reality check.
Okay, get this. 1950, average U.S. home price, about $7,300.
Wow.
Adjusted for inflation, today, that's like $88,000. Compare that to now, it's an 11-fold increase.
11 times.
And get this, average age of a first-time buyer, 1991, it was 35.
Right in the target zone for the 30s pressure.
Exactly. Today, the average age is 56.
56.
56. And in hot markets, Boston, for example, prices jumped 73% in just the last 3 years.
That's insane. What happened? Why the huge change?
It's complicated, but a few big things. Remote work shifted where people wanted to live, and some argue that pandemic relief money ended up fueling real estate investment, which squeezed the rental market, drove up prices overall. Lots of factors swirling together.
So the takeaway is, if buying a home is your dream, great, go for it. But stop beating yourself up if it doesn't happen on that old 30s timeline.
Absolutely. Ditch the deadline. If it's a core value, awesome. Research like mad. Maybe you need to save for way longer. Maybe look at auctions, foreclosures. Maybe you rent where you are, but buy an investment property somewhere else.
Get creative.
Yeah, a different timeline is totally okay. Honestly, in this market, it might even be the smarter play.
Okay, powerful stuff. We've tackled the 20s, the 30s, dismantled some big myths.
Yeah.
Now the 40s, this feels like a big one. The if you haven't made it by now, decade.
Right, that underlying fear,
Yeah.
you never will. It's such a pervasive and, frankly, damaging narrative.
I can speak to this one personally. I hit 41. My restaurant business was failing. I just lost a big job. I felt like every single career move I'd ever made was wrong. I think I was up to like 14 jobs by then.
Wow.
It wasn't just feeling behind. It felt like I had royally, completely screwed it all up.
And that feeling is so common. But here's the thing, and your story proves it. Your 40s are not the end of the line. They're so often just the beginning of something new.
It really felt like it later, but not at the time.
And crucially, you're not starting from zero. All that screwing up, those 14 jobs, that failing restaurant, that's experience, that's data, that's a foundation.
That's true.
Yeah.
You learn so much, even from failures,
Especially.
especially from failures.
And think about it, with life expectancy in the 70s, even 80s, you hit your 40s, you've still got, what, 30, maybe 40 years ahead of you?
Yeah, tons of time. Beating yourself up is just demotivating. And honestly, whose path is a straight line anyway?
Exactly. Winding paths are normal. And history is full of people hitting their stride later. Vera Wang started designing wedding dresses at 40.
No way.
Samuel L. Jackson, his big break in Pulp Fiction, he was 45. Julia Child, first cookbook published at 49.
Wow. Okay, those are inspiring.
Right. Your 40s actually come with some serious advantages. You've likely built a network. You have all this accumulated experience, those lessons learned. And often there's this sense of urgency kicks in. Like, okay, time to get serious about what I really want.
Yeah, that no more messing around feeling. You can use that urgency, right?
Totally. Use it to triple down on your goals. Your 40s aren't the finish line, they're a launch pad. For the next chapter, career shifts, new ventures, leveraging everything you've learned.
And you know what else I found kind of cool about my 40s? People around me seemed busier, like with their own kids, their own careers heating up.
Yeah.
So there was less, I don't know, scrutiny, less focus on what I was doing, more freedom to just do my thing.
That's a really insightful observation. Less external noise. And check this out. Research from MIT Sloan. Average age of a successful startup founder, 45.
45.
45!
Yeah. Probably because of that accumulated wisdom, experience with failure, the clarity that comes after 4 decades.
Okay, that makes sense. So the message for the 40s, stop making excuses. Stop looking back with regret. Take charge. This is your launchpad.
Beautifully put.
Yeah.
Now let's glide into the 50s, often painted with that brush of the midlife crisis.
Ugh, that term.
Right. Let's reframe it. The 50s, it's the decade of fabulous reinvention. Yes. I love that. Fabulous reinvention. I mean, for me, 50 was when I totally pivoted, started a media company. Then 54, launched this show. I'm 56 now. Never done podcasting before this. It's been amazing.
That's a perfect example. For so many people, the 50s are when you finally get to refocus on you. Maybe the kids are older or grown. Maybe you've climbed a certain career ladder.
Right. There's space again.
Exactly. Space to stop saying, it's too late, and start asking, what's next? What excites me?
My husband, Christopher, totally embodies this. In his 50s, started men's retreat, became a death doula, wrote a book. now getting a master's in spiritual psychology. It's like boom, boom, boom.
Wow, that's fantastic. And the key is allowing yourself to explore without needing it all figured out immediately. Give yourself the whole decade. Try stuff. See what sticks.
Yeah, permission to play again. Dr. Waldinger's research touches on this too, right? Refocusing on yourself.
It does. He talks about how after the intensity of raising kids, the 50s and beyond offer this chance to think about yourself again. And you bring all this wisdom, this resilience from everything you've already navigated: loss, job changes, divorce.
You've weathered some storms.
Exactly. And that often brings this amazing self-acceptance, like, take me or leave me, this is who I am. It's incredibly freeing.
It really is. And professionally, it's not like you're suddenly irrelevant. That UK research.
Oh, yeah. The OECD data. 73% of job growth in the last 30 years for people over 50.
73%.
Yeah. And LinkedIn talks about the skills-based economy, your decades of experience, communication, managing projects, solving problems. Those are gold.
So don't feel like you're too old to re-enter or pivot.
Not at all. Brush up on tech skills with online courses if you need to. Your life experience is a massive asset.
And something else that gets really important in the 50s. Friendships.
Critically important. This is the time to really double down on community. Be proactive. Nurture those connections. They become even more vital as we move forward.
Okay, so 50s, fabulous reinvention, self-acceptance, deepening connections. Love it. Now the 60s, the R-word decade. Retirement.
Right. But again, let's question that assumption. 65 is the magic number. We know where that came from, 1935.
Yeah, policy, not destiny.
Exactly. Your 60s are your life. Define them based on what feels right for you now, not some outdated expectation.
We heard from Melissa. She's right in this thicket. Retire or not. Money worries. No clear plan if she does retire. Feeling pressured by others. And scared of just being forgotten.
That's such a common cluster of feelings. It highlights that tension perfectly. And maybe the question isn't just retire, yes or no.
What is it then?
Maybe it's what's going to reignite my passion? What gives me energy and purpose now? That might be work, maybe different work, it might be volunteering. Deep diving into a hobby.
Yeah, what lights you up? Personally, I can't imagine ever fully retiring. I love working, learning, connecting, having that purpose. And that's okay too, right?
Absolutely okay. And it's increasingly common. Plus, let's be real, being 60 today is different than 10 years ago. The economy, cost of living, longer lives, retirement plans might need a serious rethink anyway.
Good point. And just stopping work cold turkey without a plan for what fills that space. That can be risky.
Research does show potential downsides. A drop in verbal memory, higher risk of depression, losing that work community. It can lead to isolation if you don't have something else to engage with.
So purpose and connection are key, whether you're working or not.
Absolutely. And did you know the fastest growing part of the workforce? People 65 and older.
Wow.
So staying involved, nonprofits, board positions, lots of ways to contribute that experience. Retirement should be a choice, driven by desire, not just because the calendar hit a certain number.
And if you do choose it, make staying social and involved a top priority.
Non-negotiable. Okay, so let's look even further. 70s, 80s, 90s. Is it all just downhill from there?
Please say no.
Definitely no. Remember Dr. von der Wright, orthopedic surgeon, longevity researcher.
Yes, vitality.
Exactly. Her message. Aging doesn't have to mean decline and frailty. We can stay healthy, vital, active, joyful.
She said muscles and the brain can get stronger right up until the end. It's never too late.
Never too late to improve mobility, strength, energy. I love your goal. Dancing until the day I die. That's the spirit.
Got to keep moving. And connection.
Yeah.
It becomes even more central, doesn't it?
More important than ever. Double down on those relationships. Family, friends. And it's a great time for, cleaning up relational messes.
Apologizing. Forgiving.
Yeah. Telling people you love them. Don't leave things unsaid. My mother-in-law found love again at 85.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
See? It's possible.
Anything is possible. Our bodies want to move. Our minds want to learn and connect. Connection brings meaning, especially later on. My folks, late 70s, early 80s, they're looking at new communities, making new friends.
That's awesome. So let's just call BS on the whole idea that getting older means slowing down, getting fragile, getting grumpy.
Total BS. Science doesn't back it up. And look at the examples. Betty White working till 99. Dick Van Dyke rocking out in a Coldplay video. H.W. Bush skydiving at 90.
Amazing. And technology helps keep people connected now too, right? Like those amazing seniors on TikTok. Grandma Jeroniak.
Oh, she's the best. 90-something with millions of followers. Let's play that little clip of her getting ready for her date.
Yes.
Audio clip description. Short, funny audio of Grandma Droniak's voice, energetic and sassy, talking about putting on makeup and picking an outfit for a bingo date, maybe cracking a joke about her date.
I love her having fun, putting herself out there, living life.
Exactly, on her own terms.
And that really nails the whole point of this entire conversation, doesn't it?
It really does.
There's no script. There's no one way to be at any age. You get to write your own story, decade by decade.
So please, everyone listening, stop holding that social clock over your own head. Just
Right.
delete that invisible checklist.
Right. Focus on where you are, what you want, what's real in the world right now.
Imagine how much bigger your life could feel if you weren't constantly comparing yourself to some outdated ideal.
So let me just say this directly to you listening. Stop comparing. Stop apologizing. Stop telling yourself you're behind. You're not. You are right on time for your life, and you can figure things out.
You absolutely can. You are loved, you are believed in. Take ownership, focus on what feels right for you, and you can create a life that truly resonates. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thank you. And we can't wait to explore something else fascinating with you next time. Forget that feeling like you missed some memo about how life's supposed to work.